All of the 7 bolts have been tightened in a crisscross manner. There's 2 on the inside, one there, and one below this breaker bar. The breaker bar is there for a reason. I'll tell you why here in a minute. All the rest of them have been tightened. There is no what do they call it? Foot-pounds torque. You just get everything even and tight. You don't want to. Aluminum can bend, so you don't want to get it cockeyed. You want to get it to where you just tighten it little by little till everything's tight. Now, what I like to do at this point, and this is always a good thing to do. Usually I do it before, but I've taken my breaker bar, and this breaker bar really comes in handy for leverage, and I've taken the oil fill bolt and I've loosened it. Okay, let's take this off without dumping the motor. Now with the fill bolt, what I like to do with this is to open it up, and see, I didn't even clean it, so that's a problem. Well, I will clean it, and I will put a little bit of this anti-seize on it right here. The anti-seize is really good for like all threads that you don't, that is something you have to take out, like say your spark plug, right over. You can actually put a little anti-seize right here if you want. And your spark plug, which is right, where the hell is it? It's right there. Spark plug. And there's a few other things you can use it on if you want. The anti-seize, it's basically a lubricant, a heavy lubricant with pieces of aluminum in it, and it smells really, really bad. Prevents seizing, galling, and corrosion, especially with the aluminum. So it's nice. You don't have to use it, but it's nice to have. Now, before I clean this up, we want to make sure that there's no binding in the transmission, so that everything is in there the way it's supposed to be. What I like to do is come over on this side and grab the clutch spindle, and then what I'll do, and you can notice the reason it's a reduction gear is that I can spin this 3 or 4 times, and if you look over here, see, it's always good when you do this, when you're showing people, you want to show both your hand moving and the spindle moving. Because if you just see that spindle moving, you don't know really what it's doing. But if you watch it in synchronization, it really it shows up better when you're explaining something. So now I know that the inner gears work pretty good. It is a little stiff. That's because there's no oil in it. Also, it has a new seal right there, which is fine. Now, if the seal were broken, you generally have this kind of problem where you see oil on the pads. Any kind of oil, WD, engine oil, anything is poison to these pads. You do not want to do that ever. What happens is you get oil on the pads, and the second that you put on the brakes, the oil will grab onto your inner wheel drum, and just grab hold of you like a $14 hooker and won't let go. So you don't want to use that. And then we'll take brake clean, and we'll get all the oil off the pads. But we're going to replace the pads with new ones, so it really won't matter. Then what I'd like to do is go up and take a look at our, let's see if the piston is running and there's no obstructions.